Rams fans, welcome into Rams Showcase. My name is Sheriff Joe Baggs. Tonight on Rams Showcase, the draft class is in. Let's see how the rookies will fit. Plus, the Rams are done adding to the roster. Or are they? And later, you ask, I answer. Fan quesos. Let's rock.
This is Rams Showcase with your host, Sheriff Joe Baggs.
Yes, welcome into it, Rams Showcase. I am Sheriff Joe Baggs. We are in the depths of the offseason now. Post-draft, we are into May. We do have the schedule release that is right around the corner of this upcoming week. We'll talk about that here briefly. Before we get into all the good stuff, at Rams Showcase, at Sheriff Joe Baggs, that's where you can follow along on socials, ramshowcase.com. So check it on out there. Also, heads up, we did one of my favorite things that we've ever done, and it was the coolest collab I think I've been a part of. It was an all-Rams draft that was hosted by Payo Time up on his YouTube channel. You can check this out. We had 4 of us up there. We had myself representing Rams Showcase, of course. We had Tuna from the First and Tuna podcast. We also had Mark from the Rams Up podcast. And we also had Rams House. And then Payo Time, of course, hosting the bad boys. So absolutely awesome. My team could absolutely beat the butt cheeks off of any of those other teams. But I'll share links below. Let me know how you think these teams shook out. But that was absolutely awesome, man. I got number 1 overall pick, so had to take Aaron Donald, of course, clear-cut pick there. My quarterback, Matthew Stafford. I picked Brandon Lloyd, which was super awesome at the wide receiver spot. I was thinking I was going to be able to get away with Dante Hall as my kick returner. Rams House took that. It was absolutely awesome, though. A really cool way, too, to learn about some players. If maybe you're a little bit newer to the fan base, anything like that, really cool way to hear about from the perspective of other creators, and myself included, of just like where we kind of value certain people and certain guys and stuff like that. It was really, really fun to do. Peak off-season content, as Payo Time was describing it, but certainly some similar things coming in the future, because that was so much fun. So absolute blast there. So be sure to check that out. Link will be wherever you can hear or see me below. So be sure to check that out on the Payo Time YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get into the main topic of tonight, the NFL draft class. The Rams draft class is in. Only 6 guys making their way to the Rams roster via draft picks, but of course, adding to the UDFAs as well. So let's go ahead and talk about these guys, shall we? First pick for the Rams coming in round 2, 46 overall. Tight end Terrence Ferguson, which I know we're going to give him the nickname Fergie. I just hope we can push that back as far as we can, okay? But Terrence Ferguson coming to Los Angeles from Oregon. The last time the Rams picked it, the 46 overall spot. We also picked a tight end. It was Joe Klopfenstein out of Colorado. That was back in 2006 last time the Rams picked it, the 46 slot. The best pick at 46 currently, I would say, goes to Flipper Anderson. But, hey, maybe Ferg can turn that around, man. T-Ferg out here. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But definitely Flipper Anderson, best 46 overall. He came from UCLA, 88. Ferguson led all tight ends in yards after catch last season, so definitely fitting into the way that the Rams like to run stuff. Also, speed-wise and all the parameters there at the combine, he was the fastest tight end, so that's pretty sweet stuff. He definitely has the capacity to come in day 1 as the TE2, likely behind Big Rig Higgs, and I do think that it could be with the intentions that Ferg eventually does take over the starting role from Tyler Higbee, and he is tight end number 1. Whether that happens next year, the year after, not totally sure. Parkinson didn't really have as much as an impact last year on the Rams offense that we had hoped for, so it does make sense that the Rams do go for a tight end here, and it does seem like Terrence Ferguson fits into the offense really well, so good to see there. Ferg's playing time in the preseason will tell you everything you need to know about how the Rams are intending on using him. Should he get some reps? Probably, but just know that if we're seeing him only get, 5 to 10 snaps a game, he's probably going to get used when the regular season kicks off, so something to keep your eye on there. Ferguson will be wearing number 18. That is most recently worn by wide receiver Tyler Johnson. Other notable number 18s in Rams history, we've got Cooper Kupp, Kenny Britt, Austin Pettis, Ben Skowronek. They all wore number 18, but the best number 18 in Rams history is going to go to quarterback Roman Gabriel. With the next pick in the Rams draft class here, round 3, 90 overall, outside linebacker Josiah Stewart coming his way from Michigan. First 90th overall selection for the Rams since 1971, where the Rams took running back Steve Worster. Stewart is another one of those maniac guys who just loves football and seemingly hates quarterbacks. So fits in perfectly into that room, especially with V8 Jared Verse kind of controlling that thing right now. It seems like, obviously, BY being a little bit more of a veteran there, just by 1 year, but Jared Verse, obviously, just that absolute killer instinct. If you didn't see Verse on Eisen, by the way, check that out. Absolutely awesome. But Josiah Stewart coming over to Los Angeles, like I said. So he should enter as an immediate rotational piece alongside V8 and BY. So look for him to get plenty of reps in there. With losing Michael Hoyt, the Rams definitely had a rotational need there. So Stewart does figure to come in and take that kind of role. The progression of guys like Brennan Jackson, Nick Hampton will be important to note when it comes to Stewart here. It's a lot of edge rushers, but they all could be on the roster day one when the season starts. So expect to see a pretty heavy rotation there, but with obvious BY, Byron Young, and Jared Verse taking the controls there mainly. Josiah Stewart will be rocking number 41, most recently worn by running back Malcolm Brown. So it's been a little bit since we've seen 41 on a Rams jersey. Other notables here, I've got Lyndon Crow, also Kenny Young, number 41. But the best number 41 in Rams history, of course, going to Todd Light. Next pick for the Rams came in round 4, 117 overall, running back Jarquez Hunter out of Auburn. Very interesting to see a running back taken with just the Rams' third pick. But hey, that's not too shabby, all right? The last 3 117th overall picks have at least been decent. We have 2 coming from Texas A&M here, Gig'em Aggies, Bobby Brown in 21, and Josh Reynolds coming from 2017 class, and Pharaoh Cooper just before that. Rams taking a running back doesn't mean much at the moment for the future of guys like Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, but it doesn't not mean much for them either. I think that's important to note that obviously with Kyron Williams going on to the last year of his contract, it's totally reasonable and realistic that Kyron Williams does leave after this season, although he's awesome. We don't want him to, but hey, dollar bills are hard to figure when you're dealing with salary cap stuff. And running backs, it's so scary to pay them, dude. So scary to pay them. And in fact, the Rams are one of the last teams to pay a running back where it was like, ugh, shouldn't have done that. So either way, though, that we'll kind of deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know, we can't cross the bridge now. We're not there yet. So Hunter coming in, I think that that he's gonna get some reps this year, but probably not as many as most Rams fans want. Blake Corum, obviously, coming off of a bit of an injury, but I think that with Kyron Williams being the number one guy, expect him to truly be the number one guy. Hunter, though, I do think could be a nice little change of pace back in there and could get into some third down situations considering his skill set. He'll likely get his share of carries this season, like I said, but in the preseason, that's where we're really going to need to see kind of what he is bringing. And obviously, that's super soon. So if we see him play in the preseason and there's aspects of his game that you think are missing or that you wish we could have seen more, just know it's his first preseason, and he's got time to get used to the NFL. He doesn't need to get thrown to the wolves right away. Kyron Williams is around, so that's pretty good to start. But Blake Corum is expected to be fine as far as his injury goes, but I'm guessing that K-Dub and Blake, they take the bulk of the carries, and then Hunter kind of coming in on occasion. Jarquez Hunter will be rocking number 35, most recently worn by Jake Hummel, the linebacker. Other notable 35s recently, we have C.J. Anderson And I don't know why the name Corey Ivy stuck out to me, but it did, okay? The best number 35 in Rams history, I'll let you decide who you think it is between Aeneas Williams and Keith Lyle. Two solid options there. Next up, round 5, 172 overall. Inside linebacker Chris Paul Jr. coming from Ole Miss. Pooh Paul. Very excited about this guy. The Rams haven't picked in this slot, the 172 slot, by the way, since 2003 when the Rams brought in defensive back Kevin Garrett from SMU. But Pooh Paul, he's an absolute murderer, all right? Chris Pooh Paul Jr. is a murderer. Not officially yet, at least, but I bet a 49er is on the receiving end of a boom or two that reminds us, what Brick Scott blasted Debo kind of style. You know what I mean? It just feels like this guy's going to make somebody have a bad Sunday, at least. One or two guys going to have a rough Sunday because Chris Paul is coming after their souls. So very exciting stuff there. He'll surely get special teams action right away. I personally fully expect Landman and Spates to be the starters entering the season, but I don't think it's impossible that Chris Paul, pokes in there a little bit. Also, let's not forget that Troy Reeder back. The Rams staff seemingly really likes Troy Reeder, so do expect him to get at least some reps in there. But Chris Paul, he can certainly work his way into the starting lineup. As long as he's not missing tackles, he's showing up big in camp, showing up big in the meeting room, stuff like that. I do think that that's how he can eventually slip in and become a guy who gets more reps and possibly even a starting role. The preseason, of course, will tell us quite a bit about how the Rams are planning on using this position, although I do think it's a battle. I do think it's a little bit open right now as far as who is going to be getting the bulk of the reps. But I think that Landman starts because of his experience. I know that a lot of people are saying other names, but I think that it's going to be Landman and, honestly, Chris Paul. I think that I don't have anything negative to say about Omar Spates, not at all. But I do think that Chris Paul's attitude coming in, I think that is huge. And Landman wasn't signed for depth. I just don't think so. But I do think he was signed with full intentions of helping. So we'll see what happens as far as Chris Paul. Luckily, I don't want to say luckily, but for him, he's in a position where he's entering a team that has a wide open battle at this spot, where fans have been frustrated with the position for many years now, it seems. So he's got the ability to get the fans on his side. You make a couple of big plays in preseason, and Rams fans are calling for you. We saw that last year with Omar Spates. Was he ready to start? Maybe, maybe not. He had some good plays for sure. He was stuffing some runs real nice, but ultimately we look at that position. It's been a weak spot for the Rams for a few years here. So Chris Paul coming in can definitely make an impact there. He is rocking number 54. Most recently worn by Olakunle Fatukasi. Also, Will Herring, he wore 54. Todd Collins, Brandon Chiller, Leonard Floyd. But I'm going to go with the best 54 in Rams history, Mike Wilcher. Yeah, we're going to go with that one here. And final draft pick for the Rams in the 2025 NFL draft is going to be wide receiver Konate Mumpfield, coming from Pitt at 242 overall. 242 overall for Mark Setterstrom back in 2006, but no real big heavy hitters at this spot yet. I'm looking at you, Mumpfield. Let's do this, man. He's faster on field than his 40 represents, but the Rams kind of have a trend for that with wide receivers. Nakua, notably, super slow 40, but he's super fast on the field, so you got to love that. But it does seem like the Rams kind of go for that kind of style. And also, 40s can only tell you so much. When guys are running slow 40s, but just, hauling butt on the field, you got to look at that as a positive, right? Then 40 times don't necessarily matter as much, of course. He's a solid route runner. He uses his body really well to get into position. He enters a pretty crowded room here, so he may not get much action this season, but he does seem to fit into the offense really well, so that's a good start there. He could definitely make his money on special teams, but likely starts as the 5th or 6th wide receiver if he's able to kind of settle into that spot there. He is also wearing number 15 and most recently worn by DeMarcus Robinson, who is now a 49er. Other notable 15s, we have Tutu Atwell, the Tutu train. He used to wear 15, and Frank Ryan. But the best 15 in Rams history, we're going to go to Vince Ferragamo. Solid, legendary 15 for the Rams. And here we're going to touch on the UDFAs making their way over, and some names on their uniforms that we used to see. So Wyatt Bowles wearing number 60, most recently worn by Logan Bruss. Best 60 in Rams history, Dennis Hara for sure. Malik Dixon-Williams, he's wearing number 39, most recently worn by Jalen McCullough. And best, I'm going Steven Jackson, dude, for sure. That's a solid pick there. Sean Dolak, he's wearing 56, most recently Christian Roseboom. And best ever 56, Doug Smith. Dude, heck yes. Ben Dooley is going to be rocking 66, most recently worn by KT Leviston, who is changing his number to 70, vacated by Joe Noteboom, who is now a Baltimore Raven. The best 66 in Rams history, giving it to Tom Newberry. True Edwards wearing number 82, most recently worn by Lance McCutcheon. Some names here that have worn 82, Red Phillips. We've got Tony Horn. We got Dante Hall. Solid options there. Willie Lampkin, it will be in 62, most recently worn by Jeremiah Coloni. Best 62 in Rams history, I'll give that to Adam Timmerman, the offensive lineman there of the GSOT. Good times, for sure. Next up, Jameel Muhammad, wearing number 45, most recently worn by Bobby Wagner, B-Wags. But I'm going to give the best 45 in Rams history to Jim Bertelsen. Number 97 is going to be on Bill Norton, most recently worn by Michael Hoyt. Some other options here at the 97 slot. A bunch of guys who I feel like are just kind of bunched in together as far as like the awesome levels that they brought to the Rams history here. So we've got Leroy Glover, Eugene Sims, Gerald Robinson, Tyoka Jackson, Morgan Fox. Guys who were good. But definitely not like we're not getting rid of 97 because of these guys. No hate intended there, of course. Josh Piercy will be wearing number 59. Jerron Christian was the most recent 59 for the Rams. London Fletcher, definitely got to go there, man. Bob Brodzinski and Jamie Duncan all rocking 59. Solid number there. Brennan Presley will be in 81, most recently worn by Austin Trammell. Best 81 in Rams history. Certainly Torrey Holt. Oz Hakeem as well wore 81. David Hill, tight end, he wore 81, so very solid number there. Mark Redmond will be in 83, most recently worn by Nikola Kalinic. Flipper Anderson, great pick there. Kevin Curtis also wore it. Brian Quick, Josh Reynolds, Brandon Lloyd. I just like those guys, so I wanted to mention them. But that's your 83. DeJohn Terry is going to be in 98, most recently worn by Corey Durden. I'm going to give the best 98, though, to Grant Windstrom. Also, shout out Sean Miller. Anthony Torres will be in 46, most recently worn by Ty Zentner. And Willie Daniel is probably the best there. Daniel Fells also stuck out to me. But Anthony Torres definitely has a path to becoming the best 46 in Rams history if he would like to. Nate Valcarcel, did I pronounce that right? Not sure. But he's wearing 43, most recently worn by John Johnson. But I'm going to say that the best 43 in Rams history, Cleveland Gary. Also, shout out to Craig Dahl. That name jumped out to me. I just remember his red eyes because he was colorblind, so he used to need to wear these red contacts so that he could like decipher things. And that's so funny to me, but also really cool. And he looked like a murderer out there, so that was pretty sick stuff to watch. Jordan Waters is going to be wearing number 36, most recently worn by Emmanuel Forbes. Also, we have Ken Geddes and Jerome Bettis, dude. The Bus 36, obviously a legend there. Trey Wettig, 72, most recently worn by Jonah Jackson, who is no longer part of the squad. But Kent Hill is who I'm going to give the best 72 to. But also, noted here, Chris Long also rocked 72 before switching to 91, currently worn by Kobe Turner. Rams have had some sick 91s in their history, dude. Leonard Little, Kobe Turner, got Chris Long. I'm blanking on one right now for no reason at all. Kevin Green, that's the one. So good stuff there, man. And Mario Williams will be wearing 86, most recently worn by Colby Parkinson, who is switching to 84, vacated by Hunter Long, so that move there. But some other 86s in history. We got Marlon McKeever, dude. A name that I haven't said in probably too many years. All right. As a Rams podcaster, that seems like a name you got to just re-up on at least once a year. You know what I mean? So doing it now. Roland Williams, also a couple of incredible names here for 86. Michael Humanawinui and Brandon Manumaliuna. They both wore that number. And then, of course, the playoff legend, dude. The playoff legend, the 21 season, Kendall Blanton, the tight end, rocking 86, coming in and just doing the dang thing, man. So absolutely awesome here. And before we move on here, I just want to touch on this one because we did have another number change that got, or another addition, and the number selected is causing a ripple here. So, newly signed wide receiver Brenton Covey is going to be wearing number 10, most recently worn by Cooper Kupp. I will say that I am certainly in the minority here, and I definitely understand it. But let me try to just put a little bit of context into why I don't care that Covey's wearing number 10. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't think it's a slight towards Kupp at all. I don't think that that's the intention of him wearing number 10 is to be like, yeah, we're moving on from you, Coop. Like, I don't think that that's the case. First of all, he's moved on. He's a Seattle Seahawk now, so it's fine. But also, it's just not that big of a deal. So other notable 10s, Mark Bulger, who I think is the best 10 in Rams history, personally. We also have Tony Zendejas, solid pick. Trent Green is on this list, but, I mean, I'll give you that one. But I'll tell you, I don't mind this. I don't mind that Brenton Covey is wearing number 10. Doesn't bother me in the least, all right? When you say number 10, I still think of Mark Bulger. That's the first name that pops into my head when I'm thinking Rams number 10. And in fact, number 18, Roman Gabriel. So, I mean, take that for what you will, and I'm not trying to take shots here at Cooper Kupp. That's never the intention. I just think that the value of the 21 season is really driving averages on the emotions on Cooper Kupp and his number 10. But it's not like Kupp did a bad job or that, I'm just like pretending that what he did here doesn't matter anymore. But 10 is just a number for me. Once Matthew Stafford leaves, we'll probably have another number 9. 77 was taken by A.J. Jackson immediately after Big Whit left. 81 has been worn by so many guys. Still taken now. 39 being tossed around. Corners, safeties, backup running backs, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I guess 10 to me is no different than 13, 81, 39, 55 still being worn. It's no different than any of those. I'm fine existing in the minority on this because I just don't think that it's a big deal at all. There's only 100 numbers to pick from, 0 to 99, okay? If every time we just loved a player, we got rid of his number or waited a few years to get rid of that or to assign that number again, we'd run out immediately, dude. We'd run out so fast. The only number for the Rams that is currently not retired that is like, yo, you can't wear that is 99. But that's a first ballot Hall of Famer that we're talking about in Aaron Donald. Cooper Kupp is a very good wide receiver who had an unreal 2021 season and is now a rival. It's just very different. Doesn't bother me at all. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, we'll get into the news and fan quesos. So keep it right here. It's Ram Showcase. Welcome back into Ram Showcase. My name is Sheriff Joe Bags. Let's get into the news here. The Rams and Jalen Ramsey. Certainly a possibility. I said on the last episode that there was no evidence of it, no conversations happening. And then it was like that day that Sean McVay was like, oh yeah, we've been talking. It was like, dang it, man. Making me look like I have no idea what's going on here. But yeah, certainly a possibility. It's been a little bit quiet for the last few days. I am recording this on Mother's Day, the 11th here. So it's been a little bit since we've heard any new updates, but the assumption in my brain is that we're just waiting till June 1 and then Jalen Ramsey comes back. That's very real. It is also completely possible that it doesn't happen. He does go to somewhere like the Chargers, play with Derwin James finally. I know Vegas has been a conversation as well. So it kind of does depend on, I think, Jalen Ramsey. Where does he want to play? What is he willing to take? If we take on Jalen Ramsey, we're out of money. That's for sure. But also, we're post-draft now. It's fine to be out of money now. Like, it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting a post-June 1 move, but a trade is definitely starting to feel pretty real. I do not get scared by the contract, by the way. I keep seeing that of like, we can't afford that deal. We can't do that. Miami would certainly pay the bulk of it. If nothing else, though, it's going to get reworked. The number that we're seeing of like, oh, this is his cap hit, that's not going to be what a team that trades for him pays for him. That's just not going to be the case. Things will be, kind of shaking around a little bit there. So I also think that a deal would be in place if a trade happens and Miami's not going to cover that the portion of the contract. But it sounds like they're willing to. So I would say just don't let the money scare you. First of all, because you're also not signing the checks. It doesn't matter. So it's going to be fine. If Jalen Ramsey comes over, Rams defense gets a lot better right away. And in fact, I would say that is like bringing in Jalen Ramsey makes me feel like, okay, yeah, we are one of the best teams, if not the best in the NFL with Ramsey. Without Ramsey, I feel like, hey, we're right in there. We're right in that pocket. All right. But with Ramsey, we're now, you take like the bowl of the sickest teams in the league, we're in there. All right. But you drop in a Jalen Ramsey onto the Rams, we're floating to the top of that bad boy. All right. So it's I do feel that way. That Jalen Ramsey does kind of push us over an edge of sorts. I do think that makes us one of the better teams in the NFC. I think I would personally I'd put that push that us over the Eagles if Ramsey were to show up. Right now, I put us pretty even as far as roster and coaching staff goes. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. But it does feel like Jalen Ramsey could be coming to the Rams, coming back. What number is he going to wear? I have no idea. Tutu Atwell is in number 5. 15 is now taken, so I don't know what number he would go with. Maybe 20. Maybe we would just do that. But I think Mr. Rivers is in 20 right now. So we'll see, I guess. It's probably the least important part, but I guess I just feel like based on Covey getting number 10, I feel like people are all sensitive about uniform numbers right now. And so who knows? Maybe he'll just get, just put him in 99. It's fine. So yeah, just also I would say the Rams not drafting a running back, a cornerback, does lead me to believe too that they think that they have a shot at getting him. So there's that part. Next up, announced during the draft, the Rams will participate in the rivalries uniforms this season. Only 2 divisions will be opening with the rivalry uniforms in the 25 season. That is the NFC West, including your Los Angeles Rams, as well as the AFC East. So what these are, they're going to be rolled out over the next few years, actually. We don't know if we're going to even see them before the season starts. That's kind of been something that's been talked about, that they may wait until we get into the season to show us these new uniforms, and then the Rams will pick a game to wear them in. So it's 1 game a season for the next 3 seasons. Only 1 time. You have to wear them at home, and you have to wear them against a division rival, which means no team will be wearing rivalries jerseys together, and it's just 3 times. That's it. So probably going to be super sick. If I had to guess, they're probably going to be awesome. They're probably going to be fire. All right. We're probably all going to want one. I know I'm going to get one no matter what they look like, just because I'm that kind of person. But what I'm expecting here, or what we should expect here, is that this does not impact the Rams getting a new alternate uniform. I have seen some differing opinions on this, but think of the rivalries uniforms more like Color Rush than an alternate jersey. It's 1 time a season that you wear this jersey. That's not a full alternate, because the rules for alternates 4 times. So that's why I think that the Rams do get both. I think that we get both uniforms here. So let's see. There's no stipulation on the time of the season or which division rival it's against. The Rams could wear them against the 49ers for the next 3 seasons, or we could pick, each one of your division opponents and wear it that way. And I think the best way to kind of put this in your head, think of like the City Connect uniforms. I know I don't remember what the NBA calls them, but the MLB and the NBA do this already. The Rockies are always terrible. Well, I mean, that sentence stands true no matter what we're talking about, but their uniforms, they're like city uniforms. I think they're terrible. They look very Eastery this year. Last year, they were based on the license plates in Colorado. Cool. Then this year they look like Easter stuff. So I don't know. There's not really any that I've liked so far in the NBA or in the MLB, but Los Angeles Rams, dude. We're going to be awesome. It's going to be sick. This team is so awesome that like the team that creates this kind of stuff is absolutely top tier. So I'm not concerned about it necessarily, but I don't think that it impacts that. Again, we don't know that. I've had some differing opinions there where people say, "Oh, we're getting the rivalries, so we're not going to do an alternate." I don't think that that's real. What I will say is the teaser photo that we got of the rivalries uniform. We saw that on day 2 of the draft. The Rams did post it. It was a black and white photo of Puka Nacua wearing this new uniform. It's so hard to tell what's going on here. It kind of looks like it's a dark jersey, gradient numbers, light helmet with dark horn. That's definitely something we've never seen before. It's who knows what this bad boy is going to look like. My dream, okay, this is, I don't have like inside information or anything cool, but my dream for this would be probably a navy jersey. Not a gradient number, but that's already too late. It's already in there, so I'm not sure what that would necessarily look like. Maybe a white to yellow kind of thing again. But then I would go, personally, bone helmet with blue horn. I think that would just be so sick. I know that I'm like one of the only people in the universe that likes the bone color, but it's my favorite. Those jerseys are my favorite current that we've got. I just absolutely love it. So that's kind of where my brain's going. I just don't know what the City Connect and what that means. I don't know if it was a fan vote. I don't know who's deciding what this thing looks like, anything like that. So many questions to be answered. But I want to know what you think these uniforms will look like. Are we going to get a black uniform? Are we going to get a navy uniform? Is it going to be a twist on the royal? Is it going to be yellow? I've seen that pop in a few times. What I'll say for the City Connect, I don't know what to expect. I'm going to guess black. Just a guess, just tossing that out there. But I also, again, I think the Rams also get an alternate uniform this year. And my official guess for that, again, I've got no inside information here, but my official guess for that is going to be throwback styling, kind of, but I'm going to say that it's a navy jersey with white accents. Blue helmet, white horn, blue jersey, white numbers, and white pants. I think that we do introduce white pants here soon. So just some thoughts. Let me know what you think. What do you want to see? What do you think we'll see? I would love to know those answers for sure. Let's get into our fan quesos here. We're just going to go down this list here. We'll also head over to the Facebook page. I'm not sure if I've got any there or not, but we'll prepare to check there. So, get into fan quesos, man. Which UDFA offensive lineman do you think has the best chance of making the roster? Let me see here. I think that Wyatt Bowles has so far, and Willie Lampkin are the two guys that I'm kind of keeping my eyes on as far as like, I think they could do. I don't want to like say to other people like, oh no, but that nobody else, you're not good enough, because also I don't know. We're in May right now, and I want to wait until we can see some camp stuff, anything like that. So preseason, ask me this question again. Maybe even after 1 or 2 preseason games, ask me this question again, and I'll probably have a little bit stronger of an answer for you there, or at least confidence-wise. Let's see here. Which of the this was coming from Payo time, by the way. Which of the following wide receivers from the Rams past do you think would have the best career if Sean McVay was their coach? Good question here. We have Mike Sims Walker. Loved when we got him from Jacksonville. That was awesome. Marty Gilliard. Steve Smith, the Rams one. Yeah. You got to be specific about that. He played for the Giants and the Rams. Yeah. And Brandon Gibson. Gibby. Ooh, man, that's you know what? I think seeing Gibson on this list, I'm going to go with Gibby. I think that his play style, but of all of these guys, I think that his play style would fit the most in with the current Rams styling, the Rams offense with Stafford. McVay offense run by Stafford. I think that Gibby would be the one to do the best there. Gibby, man, it's been a while since I've heard that name. That's cool stuff. Next one here again from Payo time. Under or over? First of all, you worded that so weird. It's over or under? Just kidding. 32.5 on Stafford touchdown passes this season. I'm going to say over. I'm feeling closer to 40. I'll be honest, man. I think that the way the Rams are building this team up this season is very much to protect Stafford and to throw the ball. Bringing in Ferguson, bringing in Devontae Adams, I feel like the Rams are going to try to throw the ball more, and we also needed that red zone target last year, man. Something that we were kind of missing was that like once we got inside the 5, very difficult. Luckily, we had Kyron Williams, who's very, very good in short space, but I think that having a guy like Devontae coming in here to be part of that red zone stuff, I think that's where we're going to see like a good 8 or 9 just there. You know what I mean? Like the Stafford to Devontae inside the 10. I think we're going to see a good chunk just there alone. So, yeah, I'm going to say over there. This next one coming from Rams House. Whose house? It says, what would it be like being coworkers with Kyron Williams? That's a great question, man. Let's see. What would it be like to be coworkers? I can only relate this to my jobs, right? I've had multiple jobs. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've done property management. I've done radio. I've done healthcare stuff. So I'm just going to try to average all those out. I think that Kyron Williams, he would just be like the guy that's too quiet, and you're trying to joke with him or something like that, and he would just like kind of turn to you, like pull up his headphones, be one of these, and be like, hey, I'm actually just trying to get a lot of stuff done right now, if you don't mind. And you'd be like, sorry. And if he'd just get annoyed with you all the time. He'd be like, can you just get me that report? And he'd be like, yeah, but did you see that? And he's like, I don't know why. I just feel like he just wants to get stuff done. You know what I mean? He's just no messing around. No play. Work hard, play hard kind of thing. It's like, hey, 5:00 on Friday, Kyron Williams is the most fun coworker you have. Monday morning at 9 a.m., you don't want to see Kyron Williams because he's like, hey, did you get that done? Like, you know what I mean? Next one here, coming from Nathan. Why did the Rams not draft Shedeur Sanders? Wasn't a need. Didn't need a quarterback. He would have been QB3. Probably would have been in street clothes most of the year. Not a necessary position to put Shedeur in. He's a pretty average prospect. I know that everybody talks about a lot of things with Shedeur right now, but takes way too many sacks. Holds onto the ball way too long. I'm not going to give you that ball tap one. That's stupid because most quarterbacks do that. So get out of here with all that. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's ultimately it. I mean, pretty average prospect. If you actually pay attention to what he did and watch more than just highlights, his highlights look incredible. But if you watch full games, pretty 5th round seems right to me. I'll be completely real here. I'm not trying to be a jerk to anybody, but 5th round makes sense. This whole time leading into the draft. Okay, we're gonna do this. This whole time leading into the draft, my brain's sitting here like, how is everybody talking about him like he's gonna be 3 overall or something like it? It's like I couldn't wrap my brain around it. Watching him play, watching Travis Hunter be the savior of Colorado for the last 2 years, and then seeing Shedeur Sanders play and the way that he was rolling out of the pocket, some of the throws that he would make, the arm strength, my brain kept on going, I don't know how people have him go in 1st round. My brain was like, I don't know if he's a 2nd round pick. I would say I was ballparking him 3rd, but you know what? 5th round, especially when you hear how he was acting in some of the interviews. I think the one that got me the most was when the Giants, the story that came from the Giants, where they pulled out some of his bad plays and like kind of the whole point is to say like what happened here. And his response was, well, maybe I'm not the quarterback for you then or something. And it was like, oh, okay. I mean, they liked you, dude. They liked you. They wanted to draft you, I think. And you gave them every reason not to. So they probably just scratched you off the board. And I think what also people are forgetting about is that the NFL is its own little fraternity. And yeah, it's competitive. Yeah, people, want to get up on the other ones, stuff like that. But Dable's been around. I'm sure there's been at least one person to call him and be like, how'd your interview go? And he'd be like, dude, actually, not good. He did this. He answered a FaceTime call. He said, maybe I'm not the guy for you. I think we're taking him off our board. And then Dable, being respected, other teams probably like, oh, dude, you're right. No, that's not good. So ultimately, man, why did the Rams not draft Shedeur Sanders? Not a need. Didn't need him at all. He was never going to eventually become our starter. He's probably not going to be. I don't know. I feel like he just kind of fades out. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a future Hall of Famer and I'm a jerk. If that happens, feel free to light me up all you want. All right? How about that? How about Shedeur Sanders makes a Pro Bowl? Y'all can light me up for however long you want. And my last one here from the YouTube channel is, when was the last time, if you ever watched a Rams game, not wearing Rams merchandise or jersey? It's had to be probably 08 or 09. Back when I wasn't watching every Rams game, when I would just watch the ticker. I'd watch the score. I'd see whatever game was on TV, and then I'd just watch the score or watch like a game cast. Because at that point, it was like, why am I, I don't need a jersey up for, well, I'm sitting on NFL.com just watching a game cast. You know what I mean? That's not very exciting stuff. So, yeah, it's been multiple years, man. Too many to count. I can tell you that much for sure. So, yeah, let's shoot over to the Facebook page. It's been a while since I posted this, actually, because this computer went out on me, which was very fun. It actually almost exploded. Less fun, I guess. Not as fun as you would think. But, yeah, I was sitting here typing, and the bottom popped out on me, and my battery was swelling. I looked it up, and everything was like, turn it off. Stop using that thing immediately. So I did, and I took it in, got fixed, and picked it up today, actually, so we're good to go. Where the heck is this, is my quesos? We are probably going too far here. When did I post that? I gotta stop talking about the Avs and how terrible the Rockies are. I get to, well, as I'm scrolling, we'll talk about that, I guess. No, it's definitely before that. I went to the Rockies game on May 10th, and you know what? I was sitting there. I was already in Denver. My niece had a dance competition, so I was already chilling. Rockies were playing Padres, and it was like, you know what, man? This sounds cool. Let me go check this out, actually. Like, this could be a fun time. So I just went to the game, and 21-0, they lost. So, pretty cool. I guess almost historic. I heard from somebody that the worst shutout in MLB history was 22-0, and this was here we go. Holy moly! Oh, that's a different thing. Okay, I may be out of quesos if I can't. There we go. Edwin, here we go, man. But yeah, that's I heard in the bathroom after the game that somebody said that the worst MLB shutout in history was 22-0, and the Rockies lost 21-0. I can tell you, seeing this Rockies team in person with my own eyes, this has 2009 Rams vibes to them. It's like, it can't get much worse, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and get in here. These quesos coming here from Edwin, emphasis on the win. Says, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? There's a few more months to the 2025 season, and I cannot wait. Question number 1. Who do you think has the greatest chance to make an impact this year out of our draft class? I'm going Terrence Ferguson, man, and Chris Paul. I think that those two will be the highest impact players. I know Chris Paul being a little bit later of a selection. Not everybody's locked in on that, but I think that Chris Paul is going to do massive things for the Rams this year. My little tiny screen's being weird over there, but I can't see. It's that big over there. So if this looks weird, I'm sorry. Nothing I can do about it now. Number 2. Do you believe Ramsey plays for the Rams in 2025? I actually do, man. I think I'm on that train. I think I'm going to go ahead and say I think he comes back for the Rams. That the trade happens next month in June. Number 3, if the Rams offered you season tickets this year with all expenses paid for you or for you to announce the first-round pick next year, which would you pick? Definitely season tickets with all expenses paid. I love the draft. Don't get me wrong. I feel like a lot of people misunderstand my emotions about the draft. I love the NFL draft. I just don't get, like, super emotionally crazy about the NFL draft. We're going to get some new Rams. I'm going to root for those guys, but I'm more excited to see the rookies come preseason. I mean, I don't really get hyped up in draft time. I'm very much a lounger during the draft. I just like to kick back. I don't know, man. So I wouldn't lose my mind to go announce the Rams' first pick. I'd be fine. And last one here. If you could only go to one regular season game this year, which would you go to? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm trying to go Jacksonville if that game's not in London. There's rumors of that game being in London. Colts is a game that we're kind of planning on. Arizona, I would like to go to for a few reasons, mainly because that's one of the closer stadiums to me out here in Colorado, obviously outside of Denver. But I think I kind of want to go, and I want to be one of the Rams fans. It's like, hey, guys, thank you. Like, hey, we're here to beat the butt cheeks off of Kyler Murray today. Jared Verse is going to, destroy his life. But thank you, guys. Like, it's one of those. I think that ultimately I kind of just want to be, in Arizona this year. I think that would be really fun. And just as like a, hey, appreciate y'all for last year, man. Like, we got to win a playoff game in your venue. That's not easy as a division rival to open up your doors to a division rival to play a playoff game in a season where you didn't make it. So I gotta say that, man. I think that Arizona, just to kind of show some love there, man. Spend a few bucks at State Farm Stadium this year. I think that would go a long way. Thank you for your fan quesos. Appreciate y'all. This might be, by the way, the last episode in this sheriff station. We'll see what happens. Maybe not. That's a few weeks out, so we'll see what happens. But appreciate you guys. Hopefully this rookie draft class is absolutely awesome. Hopefully these new uniforms are absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you follow on socials at Sheriff Joe Bags, at Ram Showcase, ramshowcase.com. And again, be sure to check out that All Rams draft hosted by Payo Time. It was absolutely pinnacle, dude. Pinnacle. So much fun. But that is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio and the Fan-Sided Network. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you who are Rams fans, thank you so much for watching, and go Rams.